get everybody in the Zoom session. Well, it's about 7:02. Guess we can start. Are you ready, Laura? You think we should go ahead and kick it off?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Navigate Exploring College and Careers. We'd like to start off by introducing ourselves. My name is Peter Jackson, and we have Laura Hargrove with us as well.
Hello.
Well, before we get started, we wanted to go over just some Zoom features. Your mic and video have been muted and turned off. You will be able to use the chat feature, which is located at the bottom of your screen. If you select the chat icon, a box should pop up over to the side. If you have any questions, we do ask that you type it into the chat as well, and we'll have a question and answer period at the end of the presentation. And if possible, we could probably answer it as soon as you give it as well. So let's go ahead, and Laura's going to go over the class objectives.
All right, so today we are going to go over some guidance factors to consider when you are exploring your future college and career endeavors. We will also look at some resources and tools available to you, such as the Occupational Outlook Handbook, as well as the Occupational Information Network. And finally, we will address strategies to finance your education goals. So let's begin.
Okay. So the quest to find your ideal career is a two-way journey. In some ways, it's an inward journey to understand more about yourself, what your aptitudes are, and the things that excite you. And it's also an outer journey to find new opportunities in the world around you and create circumstances in which new aspects of yourself are revealed. When exploring future college and career choices, consider the importance of human capital. Human capital is the knowledge, talent, experience, and skills that people possess. Ultimately, developing your capital increases your marketability. So explore several ways in which you can develop these personal traits, such as post-secondary education and additional informal training.
There are guidance factors to consider when thinking about future careers. Some of these include the following. Does this job match your skills and interest? Is this field experiencing growth, or is this job availability declining? Are you prepared to complete the required education? And does the salary meet your expectations?
All right, well, let's look at the income by educational attainment, as you can see in this chart here. Well, this graph is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, which compares the median weekly earnings of full-time workers over age 25 with various levels of education. These education categories reflect only the highest level of educational attainment. No, they do not take into account completion of training programs in the form of apprenticeships and other on-the-job training, which may also influence earnings and unemployment rates. So as you can see, there's a higher link between higher education attainment and greater average earnings. In general, workers who have higher educational degrees make higher wages. And this chart also displays the unemployment rate by level of educational attainment. So those with higher levels of educational attainment generally have a lower level of unemployment.
many options for education after high school, depending upon one's career or life goals. Three of the more common routes taken are the following. So there's vocational schools. Vocational schools are often referred to as trade schools. They are geared towards students who are interested in learning a trade or a skill like culinary arts, carpentry, pharmacy technician, electrician certifications, and so on. There's community colleges. Community colleges are primarily two-year degree-seeking institutions, so you would graduate with an associate's degree. And then there's universities. These are typically set up for bachelor's and graduate degrees. And many universities also include medical and law schools in addition to their other graduate programs.
Okay. So when thinking about careers, there are several options for experiencing careers. Internships are great ways to gain experience and to expose you to opportunities in your chosen career field. How do you find internships? Well, try networking, talk with your family, teachers, and counselors to find internship opportunities. You can also check online resources such as internships.com and wayup.com. You can also visit company websites to identify employers interested in hiring an intern. Job shadowing is another opportunity to experience a career. Traditionally, you spend a day or a few days observing a professional on the job. Job shadowing will introduce you to the day to day operations of a career and help you decide if it's a good fit for you. Job shadowing will help you build a network with professionals, which can help you find a job or an internship down the road. And how do you find job shadowing opportunities? Well, try contacting human resource department of a place where you like to work. This information can usually be found on a company's website. Another way you can experience a career is by interviewing someone who holds a job that you're interested in. This provides you with an opportunity to learn more about that specific career. Talk with your family, friends, teachers, and counselors to find interview opportunities. There are websites such as Careers Out There, https careersouthere.com, that have recorded interviews that you can watch. These are all traditional options for experiencing careers. Keep in mind that while you're exploring your options, the current climate has shaped how these experiences may be had. There are now more virtual and remote internships opportunity as companies adapt to current circumstances. So seek out virtual opportunities as an alternative. Think outside of the box and think creatively when pursuing such experiences.
All right, so let's transition into navigating career fields. We're going to talk about what do you want to do?
Okay. All right, first we have the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And this is something that we have as a print reference at the library, and also you can go to their website as well. Um, a- so this is a great resource for career exploration. You can browse by occupation groups, select searching by pay, education, etc., or just search for a specific occupation through the search bar. The quick facts section gives you an overview of the occupation and what is expected out of the average position. It also details the salary and expected job growth through 2029.
Another resource that is similar to the Occupational Outlook Handbook is the Occupational Information Network. It's called or referred to as ONET. It is a resource sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor and Employment and Training Administration. ONET allows you to browse for careers by several different categories, such as career clusters, or search for a specific occupation through the search bar. The U.S. Department of Labor, Employment, and Training Administration provides a detailed report on information pertaining to the career, such as task, knowledge, and skills needed to do that career, abilities and work activities, work contexts and job zones, education and credentials, interests, work styles, and values, related occupations, wages and employment trends, and there's also links to job openings on the web.
Okay. So if you don't know where to start, just simply try the I want to be a section from the home page and explore your potential future. So for instance, you can search career with keywords, you can browse career by industry, or select the part that tells us what you like to do.
When using ONET, you can find occupations by career clusters, industry, job zone, bright outlook, job family, as well as STEM. ONET group occupations that are expected to grow rapidly in the next several years. They group occupations that are expected to grow rapidly in the next several years. They reference the search field as bright outlook. You can specify the search via rapid growth, numerous jobs openings, or search for all bright outlook occupations. If you find a sun icon, which is demonstrated on the screen there, if it is next to a career, that signifies it is a rapidly growing career.
Okay. All right, well, now we're going to dive into the second part of this course.
So once you have decided on an occupation you want to pursue or have identified even a couple of options, it's important to start building your skill and knowledge set to resemble what the position is looking for. So here at the Plano Public Library, we have resources such as the ones presented here to help you along the way.
Okay, let's start off with the Learning Express Library. Learning Express Library is a really dynamic resource. There's a lot you can do with it. For instance, the Career Center Plus, you can explore a new field or find ways to advance in your current occupation. You can find helpful study guides or practice tests to prepare for professional exams such as civil service, law enforcement, nursing, plumbing, electrical. There are also online tests for the GED, GRE, the tax, ASVAB, and SAT. The Job and Career Accelerator, you can take a quiz and find a career match, and you can explore different occupations and search for jobs and internships. There's the Adult Core Skills. You can build skills, become better in math, reading, writing, speaking, and grammar, or to prepare to become a U.S. citizen, if applicable. And there's Computer Skills Center. Learn computer basics, learn internet basics, learn popular software tools such as Microsoft Office 365, and learn computer graphics and illustration software such as Adobe Illustrator or Adobe Photoshop.
All right, next let's look at LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is one of our online learning databases that houses thousands of courses that you can take. Some of the courses available focus on topics such as business, design, web development, and multimedia skills. The courses also cover software such as Microsoft Office, Adobe Creative Suite, and open source applications. So while this database is free, you do need to have a Plano Public Library card in order to access it.
Okay. And then there's Tutor.com. Tutor.com provides one-on-one help from a live tutor for students in math, science, English, history, and many other subjects. Tutor.com also provides assistance with resume and cover letter writing. You can also connect with a career coach, such as get help finding a job, writing a cover letter or resume, or preparing for an interview.
Our next database is Reference Solutions. This is a business directory information site. It provides information to help you search for jobs based on location, industry, size, annual earnings, and other criteria. You can also research business executives, view historical market trends, track down addresses and phone numbers, and discover news articles for research. And perhaps the most useful feature of this database is the ability to search for current jobs and internships across a wide spectrum of careers.
All right. Okay. Well, before we dive into the final section, it looks like we have a couple of questions. Let's see.
Yeah, Peter, there was a request for us to share the presentation or a link to the presentation. We can probably do that at the end, I would think.
Yeah, I think we can send the link, certainly, with all the information. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, we can do that.
I see another question. Is tutor.com free to use? Yes, it is. As long as you have a library card with us, you can use it. You can access it on our website under Research and Learn. You will want to create an account to use it. It's free to do so, but it helps you keep everything that you've uploaded to tutor.com together in one spot.
And yeah, and just let me reiterate that point that Laura said. Access it through our website, through the Research and Learn, because if you just go straight to tutor.com, it'll be through a private system. So if you want it free, be sure to access it through our website. Excellent. All right, well, let's go into the third portion of our presentation, and what will my future cost? So we're going to briefly talk about ways to finance your career path.
All right, let's talk about how much college costs. So first of all, there are a variety of paths based on your career aspirations. For a lot of you, that may entail studying at a four-year university. For others, it may involve going to two-year schools, earning industry certification, attending trade schools for specialized skills, or simply going straight into the workforce. Only you can decide which path is conducive to your professional aspirations.
Okay, how much does college cost? Well, displayed here is a chart showing the differences in pricing in higher education. But keep in mind that some of the more expensive schools may offer generous financial aid for those who qualify, so don't let the cost alone intimidate you.
Okay, costs and expenses. So, what expenses should you expect when you get to college? So, there are five main categories of expenses to think about when figuring out how much your college education is really going to cost. So, you want to think about tuition and fees, books and supplies, room and board, personal expenses, and transportation. And you can control some of these costs to some extent.
Okay. You know, college students, they also face other expenses such as laundry, cell phone bills, off-campus meals, and anything else that you would normally spend money on. Or whether you commute to campus or take the occasional trip home, you'll have to pay for gas, tolls, and maybe even airfare. These costs will vary depending on how you travel and how often.
So let's evaluate ways to stay on financial track.
Okay. You know, some possible expenses are listed in this example budget. It can include things like dining out, athletic events, clothes, personal care, laundry.
So practice creating a spreadsheet and create your own budget list. Write down your income, record the money that you spend, and strive to keep the income higher than your expenses.
And lastly, let's look at other financial sources. There's scholarships, grants, work study jobs, and federal and private loans. So, scholarships are generally awarded on the basis of outstanding performance in high school, whether in the classroom or as part of an extracurricular activities. The scholarships, unlike student loans, do not have to be paid back. There are thousands of scholarships each year available, and many go unclaimed. Your high school guidance counselor should be able to help you use an online search to narrow your selection. The grants are mostly awarded based on financial need, but they can also be based on your chosen field of study. Grants can come from a variety of sources, including federal and state governments, colleges and universities, private organizations, and professional associations. The federal government, for example, awards Pell Grants, Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grants, and Teach Grants. Those are for students who agree to take up a teaching position in a high need field or schools that serve low income families. College students can also obtain extra financial aid help by applying to the Federal Work Study Program, which funds part time, on campus jobs for students with financial need. Your hours are limited and scheduled so they don't conflict with your academic or extracurricular activities. A work study job is valuable because it provides you with some income, work experience, and important connections after you graduate. And finally, you may need to consider loans. Federal loans are attractive because you do not have to start paying them back until after you graduate. They generally carry a low interest rate and flexible repayment schedule. If you need to use private student loans, compare your options before you choose a lender, finding one that offers the lowest interest rate and flexible payment plans. So ultimately, pursuing a college education is a major life experience, and it's important to put together a strategic plan on your path to career success.
All right. Well, that is all that we have for you today. I do want to share because a few slides back, we mentioned practicing making a budget. On March 22nd, there is a program, it's called Microsoft Excel Budget Basics, where you will learn how to create a budget using Microsoft Excel. It is an in-person program here at the Haggard Library. So it's going to be at Haggard Library. It starts at 6:30. It's an hour-long program. So if you wanted to continue what you learned here today and start practicing with a budget, that's a great place to start because it's going to teach you how to use Excel to create your budget. All right. Well, are there any questions over what we have covered in this program tonight?
Hey, Laura, while I'm kind of reading the conclusion, can you put the link to this slideshow up in the chat field? I'm afraid since I'm in my screen sharing mode, we might lose our screen if I attempt to do it.
Sure.
Okay, I appreciate it. So while Lauren's finding the link for you for the slides, I just like to go ahead and just thank you for taking the time to attend our virtual program on navigating your future. You can find more resources on our website at planolibrary.org, as well as our blog, planolibrarylearns.org. If you would like more specific instruction on a particular career resource, you can schedule a Book a Librarian appointment through our homepage. Through a Book a Librarian appointment, a librarian can demonstrate how to use any of the tools that I have touched upon. It was a great pleasure to speak with you this evening, and I hope these library resources prove beneficial to your career endeavors. And we'll just wait for Laura.
Yeah, we will
Okay.
Get the
Okay.
link sent out after the presentation.
Oh, okay.
But we will get that out to y'all.
All right. Well, that sounds terrific. Any other questions before we wrap up for this evening? All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank y'all for coming.
Mhm.